Hello my friends, and welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me as always. I'm going to tell you something quickly. Here's where I'm headed. I recently started to sort of take stock. I was looking at reviews I had done over the past 6 years almost, and mostly Scotch whiskey, right? And I thought I've hit upon an awful lot of Scotch whiskey distilleries, but there are an awful lot of Scotch whiskey distilleries who I haven't hit upon, that I haven't touched on yet. So I started to make a list of Scotch whiskies whom I haven't touched upon. And I'm talking more like established distilleries. I'm talking about the guys who've been around for a long time. And when I got to 30, I stopped, because I thought that'll do me for now. This wasn't even touching on the new kids on the block who I haven't looked into yet. So I had a separate list of them and this, and I decided, here's what I'm going to do for the foreseeable. I'm going to review distilleries. I'm going to buy up bottles of whiskies from distilleries who I haven't reviewed yet. Now the thing about it is, a lot of those distilleries, especially in Scotland, are blend, and I've used the term before, fodder distilleries. They're distilleries who don't really have single malts on the market, official bottlings of single malts on the market. Sorry, would be the better way to put it. So there's going to be an awful lot of independent reviews coming up, independent bottling reviews, which I actually am quite happy about, because it's given me the opportunity to buy these independent bottlings, because they're generally a better price. They're generally bottled more naturally. And we're looking then at the independent bottler and the distillery more so than the actual bottling itself. But it's something, we'll see how that one works out. An awful lot of them there are. And we're adding into that the new kids on the block who I haven't touched upon yet. We're also going to find English distilleries, Irish distilleries who are putting their own spirit on the market now. So a lot of that's going to pop up. So there's a good year's work at least, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. This time we're on the Isle of Arran with one of the new kids on the block. Technically, Lagg. Arran distillers, yes, but it's their the south of the island. The Crans at the north, Lagg at the bottom. Lagg focusing on the peated malts. This one, the Corriecravie. I don't know why I've opted for that one as my first Lagg, but I just did. 55% non-chill filtered, natural colour, and that colour is betching out, although it is a sort of coloured bottle as well, so that I'm sure that it's sort of enhanced the whiskey a little. Let's get in, shall we? I gibbered on enough there. Now, dark, rich, yes. Slightly, I'm going to suggest synthetically smoky at first. That's what I get. It's just this weirdly, slightly synthetic smoky note. And I'm going to also suggest a little imbalanced, in that it feels like a bit of a mismatch of two whiskies put together. Ex-bourbon sherry cask finish, wet sherry casks I would suggest, or certainly fresh sherry casks, Oloroso, I think, because it's got that more, I've talked about it before, vinegary Worcester sauce note. Don't think like for example, the likes of Glengoyne 12, even Macallan or Aberlour, that sort of thing, which to me are more the old classic sort of richly, roundly, fruity cake sort of thing. I'm thinking more along the lines of, let's see, Edward 12, or just the wetter ones. Yeah, the names will come to me. You know what I mean. But, you know, it works. Yeah, let's get into the palate, shall we? Bingo. Sweet, sour, umami. This is where the balance comes to this whiskey. It's whenever you get into the palate, and when you acclimate to the palate, the balance comes to the nose as well. Dark, rich toffee. That's your, that's your balance in there already, in my opinion. dark chocolate, even in toffee. It's the fact that you've got your vanilla caramels coming from your bourbon casks, your richer sherry notes, your dried fruit sherry notes adding in on top of that, your smokiness, all the while playing about in there. And any chat of synthetics I was talking about earlier on, no, this is very natural now. Wood smoke, dry wood smoke. So rich. And I can't believe I actually used the word in or unbalanced earlier on, because it's I would suggest so well balanced then later on in the palate. Good long finish, all of that rich fruit, all of that smokiness, everything else, chocolate, toffee, all of it working together. 55% should be almost roughing you up a bit, but it's not. It's definitely not. Good long finish. This is 60 quid a bottle. It's an awful lot of whiskey for 60 quid. You know, there's those out there who would say, but it hasn't got an age statement on it. So what? So what if it hasn't got an age statement on it? It doesn't need it if the whiskey's good. Add a drop of water to this. Any imbalance or unbalancing that has happened in the nose at the start brings that drop of water, pulls it together, it knits it together. It rounds off the edges, it makes it a wee bit more palatable, because as I said, 55%, it doesn't beat you up, but it needs a wee drop of water just to calm it a little. The finish doesn't change an awful lot, so it remains good. Will I replace it? I don't think so, simply because I'll move on to another Lagg. After I'm buying up, I'm going to be buying a lot of independent and official bottlings for the purposes of reviewing. So there's going to be an awful lot of whiskies on my shelves with about that much whiskey in them. So I won't replace this, but I will definitely buy more from Lagg. So what would I suggest as an alternative? I don't know what that voice was about. What was that voice about? This was easy. This was also an easy one for me. Sometimes it's easy to suggest an alternative. Sometimes it's incredibly difficult. In this case, I would go for the Kilchoman Loch Gorm. Similar but different, you know, put it like that. Both great whiskies. I could have probably even thrown out there maybe the likes of the Ardbeg or Goodall. Similar but different, but I definitely think the Loch Gorm, I think it's because the Loch Gorm's that bit younger, like the Lagg. It's got a bit of youth on its side, which I've said it many times in the past, lends itself to good peated malt. You're not using casks to draw out that phenolic flavour, which in a lot of cases to me happens. I suppose yet again the other one, and then this will go completely against what I was going to say, was the Lechic 18 is one example that does, after many years, still hold on to an awful lot of its phenols and an awful lot of that phenolic flavour. But definitely for me, the Loch Gorm from Kilchoman would be a good alternative to the Lagg. If you've tried either of these and you want it to maybe go into the other one, definitely go out and buy the other one, because they're both great whiskies in my opinion. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm gonna say that yes, I'm really looking forward to where this is going in the future here, because it's given me the opportunity to try whiskies that I haven't try distilleries that I haven't tried, and it's a sort of, I suppose to a certain extent, it's a rolling over thing that could just keep going forever. It won't. I'll interject every now and again with whiskies that I just want to review, just because, but it's given me a good focus. New whiskies to me, new distilleries to me. There. Leave it at that. Say thank you very much for joining me. Always a pleasure. Thank you very, very much to my patrons. Should anybody wish to show the channel a little more support and join that group, the details are in the video description below. I will be back again. You can bet your boots on that. Until then, look after yourselves and here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.